From paper clips to post-it notes, the simple inventions that made their inventors rich. The power of simple inventions. Innovation doesn't always come in the form of complicated gadgets or sophisticated machines. Sometimes, the simplest of inventions can make a significant impact on the world. These inventions can be so simple, yet so brilliant that they change the course of history. They can solve a problem that nobody knew existed, or they can make our lives easier in ways we never thought possible. The power of simple inventions lies in their ability to change the world without overwhelming us with complexity. The story of the paperclip and its inventor. The paperclip is one of the most ubiquitous office supplies in the world. It's hard to imagine a world without them. But did you know that the paperclip was invented more than a century ago by a Norwegian named Johan Vaaler? Vaaler filed a patent for his paperclip design in 1899, but he never made any money from it. In fact, he died in poverty, and his invention was largely forgotten. It wasn't until several years later that the paperclip gained popularity in the United States. The American company Gem Manufacturing started producing and marketing the paperclip in the early 1900s, and it quickly became a must-have item in offices across the country. Today, the paperclip is still widely used, and it's a testament to the power of a simple invention. The invention of the Post-it note and its creator. The Post-it note is another invention that has become almost ubiquitous in our lives. It was invented by a 3M scientist named Spencer Silver in 1968. Silver was trying to develop a super strong adhesive, but instead, he created a weak one that could be easily removed without leaving any residue. For years, Silver tried to find a practical use for his invention, but it wasn't until 1974 that one of his colleagues, Art Fry, came up with the idea of using the adhesive to create a bookmark that wouldn't fall out of his hymn book. The Post-it note was born, and it quickly became a sensation. Today, Post-it notes are used in offices, homes, and schools all over the world. The success of the Post-it note shows that sometimes the best inventions come from accidental discoveries. The history of the safety pin and its innovator. The safety pin is one of those inventions that we take for granted. We use them to fasten clothing, hold things together, and even as makeshift jewelry. But the safety pin wasn't always around. It was invented in 1849 by Walter Hunt, a mechanic from New York. Hunt was in debt and needed to come up with an invention that would make him some money. He created the safety pin while playing with a piece of wire, and he sold the patent for $400. The safety pin quickly became popular, and it's still used today. It's a classic example of how a simple invention can solve a problem and become a part of our daily lives. The creation of the Frisbee and its designer. The Frisbee is an American classic. It's a plastic disc that people throw back and forth, and it's a staple of parks, beaches, and backyards all over the country. But the Frisbee wasn't always a toy. It was invented in the 1940s by a man named Walter Frederick Morrison. Morrison was a fan of flying saucers, and he wanted to create a toy that mimicked their flight. He started by selling a plastic disc called the Pluto Platter, but it wasn't until he sold the design to the Wham-O toy company that the Frisbee was born. The Frisbee quickly became a hit, and it's still popular today. It's a testament to the power of a simple idea and the creativity of one man. The development of the Slinky and its founder. The Slinky is a toy that has been around for more than 70 years. It's a simple metal spring that can walk down stairs or be manipulated in various ways. The Slinky was invented by Richard James, a naval engineer who was trying to develop a spring that would keep sensitive equipment steady on ships. One day, he accidentally knocked over a spring, and he watched as it walked down a stack of books. James saw the potential of his invention and started selling Slinkies in 1945. The toy quickly became a sensation, and James went on to make millions of dollars. The Slinky is still popular today, and it's a classic example of how a simple invention can capture the imagination of people all over the world. The success of these inventions. The success of these simple inventions is not just about the products themselves. It's about the people who created them and the stories behind their success. These inventors were not afraid to take risks and pursue their dreams, even when the odds were against them. They saw opportunities where others saw only obstacles, and they were not afraid to think outside the box. The success of these inventions also shows that sometimes the best ideas are the simplest ones. We don't need to reinvent the wheel to create something that will change the world. Sometimes, all it takes is a spark of creativity and the willingness to try something new. Lessons learned from simple inventions. There are many lessons we can learn from the stories of these simple inventions. First, we can learn the importance of perseverance. Many of these inventors faced setbacks and failures before they achieved success. But they never gave up, and they kept pushing forward even when things seemed impossible. Second, we can learn the power of simplicity. Sometimes, the most impactful ideas are the ones that are the easiest to understand. We don't need to overcomplicate things to make a difference in the world. Finally, we can learn the importance of taking risks. None of these inventors would have achieved success if they hadn't taken a chance and pursued their ideas. We can't be afraid to fail if we want to achieve great things. Conclusion. In conclusion, the world of innovation is full of surprises. From paper clips to post-it notes, the simple inventions that have made their inventors rich are often the ones that we take for granted. But behind each of these inventions is a story of creativity, ingenuity, and perseverance. We can learn a lot from the inventors of these simple inventions, and we can apply their lessons to our own lives. Who knows, maybe the next great invention is just waiting for someone to discover it.